Welcome to Coffee Meets Cloud, where three women in tech come together to share real stories about leadership, life, and everything in between. Join our hosts, Karami McCollum.
Oh, I love the voice note feature, y'all.
Cassandra Parker.
I'm hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit.
And Rachel Rogers.
We have the power to change it.
Your go-to source for candid conversations and unfiltered insights. So, grab your coffee, pull up a chair, and join the chaos.
Welcome back to another episode of Coffee Meets Cloud. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are you guys? Hello.
I'm living in the power today. I started the recording this morning, so I feel like
she's been click happy, y'all. She's over here changing ratios and resolution, and our screen just keeps changing. I was like, oh gosh.
She's all excited because I got stuck in school traffic because it is the first week of school and teachers need to get their lives together. I love you. My mom's a teacher, as you all know. You saw her. It's great. But, okay,
we love her.
When you are going to assign a child an assignment that requires her to get teacher recommendations, and teacher recommendations can only be done within certain hours, and you only have 48 hours to do it, it definitely turns your life a little wonky. So I had to drop her off at school this morning so that she could be there to do the 8 to 8:25 conversations that were this morning and this morning only. Yeah.
Well, I don't understand
that strange.
Yeah, like what about kids that don't have parents that can take them to school, like that ride the bus? Are they just out of luck?
They won't get the recommendations unless they can stay after school. Like she couldn't stay after school yesterday. But first day of school, staying after school isn't typically something you planned for. No. So,
but when does the teacher actually physically write the recommendation? Is it like a paragraph? Because like if I'm a teacher and you come and you tell me you need a thing, I'm gonna need a little bit of time to think about what I want to say in your recommendation.
Or I don't know if it's just a sheet they have to sign. Because sometimes that's what the recommendation is.
But
like
how silly is that to tell the kids you can only come like you can only access this teacher at this very brief window in the entire school day.
Right.
That doesn't
Well,
make any
they
sense
only like Kinley only has 20 minutes for lunch. Like they don't in high school, they don't get all these breaks. Yeah. It takes her 5 minutes to walk from where her classroom is to the lunchroom. So by the time she gets to the lunchroom, she has 20 minutes to eat because lunch is only 30 minutes long. And then it takes her 5 minutes to walk to the other side. So she brings her lunch because otherwise if she had to stand in the lunch line, she'd never get to eat. Like there's not the way they've scheduled out high school now.
Something's broken here.
There's not a lot of time to go and get those teacher recommendations at another time during school, right? Because like you couldn't go during lunch if you actually wanted to eat.
Right.
It's definitely a little wabberjacky. But the crazier thing is this year they're allowing in high school kids to pick hybrid options.
Like dual enrollment?
No. Hybrid.
Like from school? From home?
Yeah. So these kids, so like some of her sophomore friends, their 1st through 5th period is at home and their 6th and 7th period is at school. So the parents are responsible for the transportation if you're a hybrid child, but you don't have to go to school the whole day. You can have so many classes that you do virtually and then so many that you do in person.
That's wild.
Yeah. So there's fewer kids in the class now because they've got all these online kids. But it's not truly online. It's that hybrid thing. Yeah, things are getting crazy out there, ladies. Like, I don't know what it's going to look like
in these streets.
And first of all, no thank you.
Yeah.
To my kids, you will be going to school because I work from home. We're not going to all work from home.
No. Well, here's the thing. Go have those experiences you need to have as a kid to be able to teach you how to be able to interact in the workplace. Like, I'm not going to shelter you from that. Get out there, go. I don't care that the bus smells. We all rode on smelly buses. It's called adolescence. Everybody's got stuff going on. Like, get out there, go. Yeah. No.
That's crazy.
But yeah, there's all these hybrids now and all this craziness. I don't know. I don't get it. And then they have those weird schedules that like 3 days a week, the schedule works all 7 periods. 2 days a week, it's only 4 periods for the whole day.
How do people figure this out?
And
Like, that
so
just seems complicated.
And how do you keep up with it? And why am I still having dreams that I'm back in school and forgot what class I was supposed to be in? It
Yeah.
used to be that I had the dream that I had no clothes on.
Oh, yeah. I've had that
Truly,
dream
I know
before.
people joke about
But
that,
not
but I
at
really
school.
used to have that dream.
No,
I
and
had that dream about work, like going to my
Yeah,
first day
I've
at the
had that
job
one
in the
too.
office, and I've got no pants, and it's like,
And I'm just like
what?
trying to cover myself up. And
And I'm like
but why am I dreaming am I
hiding
still
behind a
there?
ficus in the
Why didn't
corner.
I run away and get back in my
behind a
car?
ficus, that is so very specific. Those ficuses are just always out there, and Cassandra's just hiding behind them.
Oh my
In my
gosh.
dreams, there are ficuses in every corner.
Maybe you need to look that up. What does it mean when there's a ficus in every dream that you have, specifically in the corner?
Specifically in the dreams when I don't have clothes, and I'm supposed
Yeah.
to have clothes.
Like a ficus has become your safety zone.
Yeah,
Lord.
protects me from the world.
Jeremy, do you have any ficuses in your
What are you covering yourself with in your dreams when you're
Yeah.
naked?
No, I'm just out there in the wind, just no protection. I'm just all eyes on me.
Rear end hanging out for the world to see.
Traumatized. I'm telling you. I mean, did they put that's what I'm saying. Did they put too much pressure on us in school? And now we have these
There's not enough pressure.
trauma
nowadays.
flashbacks.
Everyone's been
Yeah.
babied and coddled. Get over it. I'm sorry, you have to go to school for 8 hours. Wah, so did we. Deal with it.
But also, that's the same you have to do with a job, right? Like, that's what I
Yes.
don't understand. What you're doing right now is setting a precedent that cannot be maintained,
Correct.
right? And that's not acceptable. That does not set them up for success. That does not make them better humans, more productive, have better coping skills for dealing with difficult coworkers. It
Nope.
just makes it to where I feel like there's a level of management that is going to get hit with the coddled child, where it's all coddled children and you don't have a mix anymore. And I feel really bad for those managers, because what are you going to do?
We're
Well,
already seeing some of that.
I know, but you at least have a mix right now,
Yeah.
right? Future state, you're not even going to have a mix.
Well, I mean, I can't speak for all schools, but these city schools are serious. I mean, if one of our kids is tardy or late, I get a recorded voicemail and a
yes.
text message
yeah.
to let me know they didn't attend. And the curriculum is so, what's the word I'm looking for? Fast paced.
Yeah.
I mean, no, they don't play. They do not play.
But-
They take that stuff so serious.
But see, they took that stuff so serious in lower grades. And then they get to high school and they're kind of on their
Oh,
own.
now
They're
that I don't
kind
know,
of like
yeah.
they're kind of like bridging it almost into a college experience of, like, in college, you don't have your parent checking in, you don't
Right.
have all of those things. You
You
are
have more
responsible.
autonomy
You're
to do.
considered an adult.
Sure.
So now they're pulling that forward a little bit, but I think if you're only 15,
It's a
You
lot.
can't handle that.
Yeah.
You're not mature enough to handle that yet. Let's
Yeah.
be honest. I don't think you're mature enough at 19 going into college to handle that either. So
right.
that's why I think
But-
so many freshmen like flunk out, because they're like, I have all this freedom and fun.
If you have a child who is approaching high school, some friends of ours said you've got to do the dual enrollment. If your child thinks that they will go to higher education, further education, however you want to word it, that is the way to go. You can get an entire first year of college for free.
Yep.
And be ahead, and then be able to graduate college early.
Yep.
And, we talk all the time about student loans are a crime, and
Mhm.
school in and of itself is expensive if you can't get scholarships and things to pay for it, grants. So that could be a way to get ahead a little bit and
Yeah, I
help
think
with
my
some
niece
of
is
that.
going to graduate. She's a senior this year, and I think that at the end of the year, she's going to graduate and have, like, if not her whole freshman year finished, it's most of her freshman year, because she wants to be a
Mhm.
vet. So she's got, like, all the years ahead of her.
Mhm.
What's interesting is at Kenley School, they only let you do dual enrollment starting your junior year.
Huh.
So you can't do it now by your junior year, you've got most of your core complete. So you probably still can do, like, where you get almost your full freshman year done,
Probably, yeah.
but you can't do dual enrollment until you hit junior
It may be
year.
that way for all high schools. I haven't looked into the specifics of how it's structured. I mean, I imagine they've got to do a lot of high school stuff in those first 2 years, so it would make sense.
Yeah.
That's probably the standard. But
Yeah.
still,
I know Samantha's like all of her classes are pretty much dual enrolled, like pretty much.
Yeah. I'll tell you though, the one thing that is counterintuitive is the Georgia Hope Scholarship. And when you look at that up, because it only counts certain classes towards the GPA, but then it has rigor requirements. And that's where a lot of people miss out, because if all you ever take is the courses you're supposed to take to graduate, you will not hit the rigor requirement.
Oh, it must have changed since I was in school.
Yeah, so the rigor requirement, you'll get 2 credits towards rigor requirement because chemistry counts and your second foreign language counts towards rigor, but you need a total of 4. So if you don't have any AP classes or you don't take the certain classes that qualify for rigor, then you won't be eligible. It was really interesting because we signed up for Kinley's Georgia Futures account, because now that once you get into your sophomore year, you can sign up for your Futures account because you have a year of grades that can actually be shown in the account. And yeah, we were having to dig into the rigor.
It probably was the same, but I didn't realize that the scholarship was affected by it. But you had 2 tracks you could pick. In my high school, you were either on the college track or the tech track. I forget what they called it, like vocational track versus college track. And there were certain core classes and then extracurricular things you had to do depending on which track you were on. So that's probably what it was for, because I did have to have 2 language classes and things like that. So that makes sense. Okay. Not that it mattered. I didn't go to a 4-year college.
That's what they did at our high school. It was like college prep classes, and then you had your vocational classes. And so,
fun fact: have I ever told y'all that I was accepted and was supposed to start at UNG as a cadet in the ROTC program?
What?
And then changed my mind at the last minute.
I cannot see you in ROTC.
I was in junior ROTC in high school.
Really?
Well, only for my senior year, because that was the first year they had it at my school. They still have it now. They've had it a long time now. But yeah, I loved it. I loved it my senior year of high school. And I don't know why, because now I'm like, oof. But what changed my mind, I was so excited. I wanted to do it. I wanted to go. It sounded perfect. Like, oh, my college is going to be paid for. And then I'm going to start as an officer in the military. And then I didn't know what I might do from there, if I would make it a career or whatever. But then I went and toured the campus and the section that the cadets stay in. And I was like, absolutely not. You mean to tell me I'm supposed to spend 4 years of a college experience living in barracks with a curfew? I mean, you were living like you were in basic training for 4 years.
Yeah.
Nope.
You were like, no, ma'am.
You are essentially in.
Yeah, but like training. when you just go into the military, you have your basic training for a set number of weeks, and then you go to your school to learn your skill, and then you go start doing your job.
Right.
But if you go to the college,
not 4 years to your point.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're living that existence. Now, it's not as rigorous as real basic training, but you get up every morning at the crack of dawn and do PT before classes start. You have to wear your uniform around the campus. You have a curfew in the barracks. This is what I recall from the tour. You can't put it is barracks. You can't put things on the walls. You can't decorate. You can't do anything. It is basic training. So I was like, actually, pass.
You're not as bougie as some of us, but you're a little bit too bougie for that.
I was more crunchy. I was more as like laid back and like were
you like a hippie? Were you like a crunchy?
Well, so I was gonna say, like, even now I'm kind of like, we'll talk about it later. I can't say it on the podcast. There's a term for me. But back then I was way crunchier. I was like way more tomboy, very like LIVIN baby. Like I was just like doing my thing. Like I in my own world, Didn't really have clicks kind of thing, just floated. I was one of those, you know.
I
So
feel like you needed some polishing. Now you're reaching your diamond era
I grew
because we
to my
like,
own. I grew into myself. You know what I mean? Like I found who I
yeah,
was.
yeah, but your taste, you know, we used to
Matured.
be on a Coca-Cola budget. Now we're on a Prosecco budget. That's a different type of
That's
budget.
correct.
That's
That's correct.
That puts you in a different bracket of bougie.
Mm-hmm.
But the
allows
people
you to
who do
be.
that, the people who don't mind sacrificing in that way, it is a great track. I will say that
100%.
much. I mean,
Also, we appreciate our military and thank
Yes,
every single
absolutely.
person who's ever done that and continues to do that. And thank you for all the things.
Yes.
I did think about going into the Air Force once because they had those career fairs that you had to go to
Oh,
in high
yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I went over there and they were talking all these really cool things. And I was like, yeah, then they started talking about G-force and I was like, yep, nope, out. Like, I don't think that part's for me. I'm not that kind of an adrenaline junkie.
I think it would have been cool to be a pilot, but I didn't have the vision for it. The literal vision.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But every time I see those TikTok clips of those pilots, especially when it's
I
a
know.
female and they've got that bad, music playing over it. I'm
Yes.
like, that would have been so cool.
We can make a video of you like that on your computer.
I can.
TikTok, yeah.
Danger zone.
Yeah.
Answering emails, flipping things left and right, Slack
Yeah.
messages going off.
Chugging on your espresso.
Windows
Right.
popping in and out on the
Popping
screen.
up.
Yes.
There's espressos going, throwing in a Lonnie, a Celsius. I mean,
Yes.
the whole
Oh my
thing.
Lord.
Yeah.
We could do it.
Throwing things because it's, midnight dev time and that's all that's left.
We're on a deployment call that's
Yeah.
not going well and I just throw my glasses down.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. That reminds me of the guy
Slam
on
that
TikTok
computer
that
down at
throws
the
his
end.
glasses, Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan, I
Love
love
that.
his.
I do too.
Man.
Oh.
No. So speaking of work, we got to talk about this AI nonsense that's gone on between Trailhead and people who are having AI write their emails. And so now you just you're degrading your messages because nobody's going to read all that.
No, you sound like AI. You don't even sound like. So we started this conversation with, I saw a LinkedIn post where this guy used Claude to actually take his Trailhead badges, take the quizzes, do the hands-on, did the whole entire badge, and he got the badge. He didn't do any of it, which makes me really upset because the purpose of Trailhead is to learn. It is not to cheat and just get the most badges. So you're just invalidating the fact that people have these different statuses of their badges. You are cheating. Shame on you. Now, this gentleman, I think, did it to prove a point that you could do this, not to get more badges, right? However, there are people out there that are that dishonest and will do it just to get badges and say, hey, I have all these things. But that just brings me back to practical real world experience is so much better than a Trailhead badge, than a certification, than whatever, because you could have 100 badges. And how do I know that you took those badges? How do I know that you've earned those things? Right. The same thing with letting AI write all your emails. You sound like you're letting AI write your emails. You don't sound like you.
And if you're doing it for efficiency, the thing you have to remember is it may be efficient for you to have AI summarize it all. But at the end of the day, if you drown people in communications, they're not going to read it.
Nope.
You're making it to where your message is watered.
AI
Nobody
has a
cares
tendency
anymore.
to give it a lot of fluff, like a lot of extra words, a lot of words that are fancier than you really need to get your word across.
And scrolls. If you want AI to write your email, fine. Make it concise.
Make it sound like you. Train
I
it
literally have had to tell mine,
sound
this
like
is
you.
this is too many words. We need to make this more concise. Because I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little personally attacked because I use it to write quite a few of mine when I'm just trying to get the update sent and I just need to move on. And I just give it some points and I'm like, put this together.
I do that too, but you also don't just press send, right? Like you go back through it, you look at it and you're like, oh, that doesn't sound like me, or that doesn't make sense, and you edit it. I found so many mistakes in emails that people have sent that's like, well, that's not right.
Also, you're probably not sending 5 to 10 back to back to the same group of people who now clearly know you have done nothing other than copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste.
Well, that's what I was gonna
Like,
say. I'm also
that's
not taking an incoming email and putting it into AI and telling it to create the
Answer
response.
this for me.
I'm taking my own response of
Exactly.
incoherent little streams of consciousness and just putting them together in a coherent manner.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
But that's what I worry about, and we talk about this all the time, the fact that, Jamie always says, "What do you call the person who graduated last in their class from, medical school?" You still call them doctor,
Doctor.
right? And now you have all these people using these tools and still graduating, still passing the class, still getting the test, still getting the certification, and they still know nothing. But they've got this piece of paper that says that they do. And I think as employers, it's getting harder and harder to root those people out.
Well, I was going to say, let's talk about how this impacts recruiting for your technical teams, right? I know there was a wave, myself included, of people who started coming into the workforce and getting into these lines of work and feeling like, why in the world are you giving me a project to complete? Why in the world are you trying to test me? Like, why do I have to jump through so many hoops to work at your company? Like you would think you just want somebody to do it. And if I have to do all this work, I don't want it. Right. Like that kind of was, and maybe still is the mindset. I haven't been looking for a job in a little bit. But the reality is we're back to that point. We have to do some amount of screening that requires you to show me what you can do. And so now, like, for hiring developers, pull up a class that has errors on purpose, best practice issues on purpose, and put it on the screen. Have them go through it. Take as long as it takes. They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to find every single thing, but you're going to be able to tell right away if they have the aptitude for reading what that's telling them and all those things. You can't send it to them and ask them to submit the project because guess what they're going to do?
They're going to put it in AI.
Correct. So you have to pull it up on the screen and ask them to skim through it on the phone. And then even in just the conversational part, you have to be mindful and be like really kind of looking for where are their eyes going? What are they? How is their body moving? Like, are they using AI to do this interview? Are they answering the questions with an AI, response?
Well, so here's the challenge with all of that. And this is where I think the world is going down a dark hole. Salesforce themselves is promoting using agentic coding. The developers that come into the world moving forward are not going to be your traditional developers. They're going to be agentic prompt engineers who do not know how to code themselves, but know how to write the prompts to get the AI to do the coding. So I think it's going to be a delicate balance for a while of there may be some really good candidates that would get rejected even by a traditional test, but that does not mean they're not good. It means that they learned it via vibe coding, via the coding tools with GitHub, via all of the agentic capabilities that have been released that are helpful, but still require you to have that level of oversight that is writing the prompts correctly, checking the work correctly, but they cannot do it if you were to just give them a traditional developer screening test. And so it's going to be interesting to figure out what are those people that you have to give the one test to versus the other test to, because the reality is over time that workforce is going to shift to prompt engineers as the new development team member. It is no longer traditional development.
Well, it's also why the contract to hire model is so important, because as well as you may try to screen candidates and they seem like they're going to be exactly what you need, you need the opportunity to bring them in. I think 6 months is like, sometimes you're going to know right away, unfortunately, that it's not a good fit. But I think 6 months is a really good amount of time for them to really have had the right amount of onboarding, understand the type of work going on at the organization, the team structure. And if they're not proving value by that point in the skill set you're looking for, to be able to make that separation and find a better fit, that's really important. And that's a lot harder to do when you hire direct to FTE.
But if you hire direct to FTE, use your 90-day window. Companies
Yes.
do 90-day windows.
It's just I think 90 days is just still sometimes a little bit soon to sniff some of that out, because it has gotten really hard to sniff out. I think depending on what they work on and how busy
If
things
they're
are, what's
working
going
with
on.
someone.
Exactly. It can be hard to really know in the first 90 days.
It can be hard to know, but a lot of companies don't have the ability to do contract to hire. We
Yeah.
don't do contract to hire. So I have 90 days, right?
Good luck.
Use your tools that are given to you, right? In those 90 days, the same as you would do in an interview, you can put people through tests and through complicated problems. You have to change how you manage in 90 days if you want to figure it out.
Yeah.
If you have 6 months, fantastic. That is great, right? And you can manage probably more traditionally, and you don't have to put as much pressure on the first 90 days.
Right.
But if you have 90 days, change how you manage to focus on figuring it out. You need to focus that time on, handling complex problems, making sure what is that right amount of onboarding knowledge somebody truly needs versus what is a little overkill. Also follow your gut. Your gut is going to tell you if you think it is fishy, it's probably fishy.
Yes.
Right?
Well, I think we've talked about this before too, but also being able to structure your team in a not model, but a structure that's going to have the different tiers of skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
Because in some ways, it's almost better to be able to bring in a junior developer, junior admin, junior, whatever the role is, and have a development path for them and an infrastructure that can help train them by really good people, like to build up their skill set. Cause then, they're being trained the right way.
Yeah.
Right. And learning the right things in the right way. A lot of places don't have enough head count to be able to have a team like that. They might be working with a team of 2 people, 3 people. Well, we need them all to be senior level so we can knock this work out. And it's like, well, then what?
Yeah, I think the other trick to that though is the retention strategy and how you're really able to show people growth. The one trick that people typically fall into is they'll say, "Oh, we have a career path," and they'll have a junior person, a middle person, and a senior person, but they only ever have one of those roles opened at one time. So it requires somebody to leave in order for somebody to get promoted. That's not healthy either. Because if my career path is controlled by the fact that Karami's there, and so until Karami leaves, Rachel can't get promoted, Rachel's going to go find a job somewhere else because that's not a career path for me either. So the illusion of a career path, I think, is really dangerous. And you got to be really careful to make sure that what you're promoting is reality. And then when people meet those areas, that you truly give them what you said you were going to give them, which isn't always in the manager's control, right? A lot of times that has to do with corporate finances and everything else. So all of those things put pressure on that model you're trying to create. It's very important to have alignment.
The other thing I've seen talked about on social media, which I'm like, oh my gosh, this didn't make any sense to me early in my career, but I totally get it now. You have to explain why, like as a leader, how do I say this? There's a lot of people who think just because they have the same job title and have the same responsibilities in their role as another person, that they should be compensated exactly the same way.
Right.
And what you have to understand is an organization is not just paying you for what you do, they're paying you for what you can do. So that person who's been doing it for 10 years versus 1 year, if stuff goes sideways and we're in a state of flux and I need, someone with experience and the critical thinking necessary to navigate us through that storm, that's going to be that person with 10 years of experience in that role.
Right.
The person
Most
with a
of the
year,
time.
you're doing a great
Not
job.
always, but
Yeah,
most
yeah,
of the
not
time.
always. I mean, that's the idea, right? Like,
Right.
they've proven an ability and a commitment to their craft, so to speak, that should be recognized. Like, you're not always getting paid for what you're doing in the moment. Sometimes you're getting paid for what you can be pulled in to do if the need arises, and the need does arise outside of an emergency.
What was that meme you sent me that one time, Rachel, that was talking about you pay me for my years of experience? Oh, I'm trying to think of what it said, but it was so good. It was basically talking about how you don't pay me for, to your point, Carrie, the job I'm doing right now. You pay me for the capability that I have and all the years of knowledge that I have accumulated. You're not paying me just to push buttons on a computer, right? You're paying me for my critical thinking skills and all those things I've learned over the years and how to navigate these things.
Yeah.
Well, and no, too, sometimes you're brought into an organization to drive change. Sometimes you're brought into an organization to disrupt things, and disruptors are typically paid more than people who have been there the 10 years.
Yeah.
But they've been paid because the organization is trying to change. The organization is trying to do things differently. So it's an opportunity too, if you are one of those people that has been a legacy person and you're seeing some change agent come in, try to join the change early. Be an early adopter. Be one of those that is helping support the change. That'll get you the increments that you're looking for. That'll get you the promotability, the additional finances you're chasing, because that shows that not only do you have the history of the organization, so you can be a person that's pulled into a crisis, but you now know where the ship is headed and you can help navigate it there, versus being a person who's simply on the boat.
Yeah.
While you may still be good in that crisis, you're not taking us forward.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we are just dropping knowledge.
I know, right?
Dang.
On a
Get too heavy in here.
I just felt my brain get numb. Does that ever happen to y'all? Like, numb is the only way I can describe it. Like, like when your eyes just suddenly focus on something and you completely space out.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know how that your mind feels kind of like not numb,
foggy,
but like spaced out?
Foggy.
Yeah. My brain will sometimes do that even when my eyes aren't doing that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
I was on a call yesterday and they were asking me questions and I just looked at them and I said, I'm be real honest. I didn't hear anything you just said. I was here and then I wasn't because I'm tired. And so I'm gonna need you to repeat that question. Yeah.
I'm still not convinced that I'm not in early perimenopause. I'm telling y'all.
You might be.
I'm telling y'all. I'm going back to anyways. I'm going to get put back on my ADHD medication because I thought I was coping, but I think the reality is I'm not coping very well. But I still am not convinced that like it ramped up so bad after having my youngest. And I'm like, I just still don't know how much of this could be hormonal because what it does to your brain.
It does.
That's the thing though. It might not even be perimenopause. I've seen studies recently that say like years after the kid has been born, your body still has not regulated back, especially if you've had multiple kids, because your body went through that, kind of restabilized, then had the second event and is still trying to figure out how to recover. So it's not even necessarily perimenopause. It's the fact that you had the second child and your body just never quite went back.
I'm gonna look at her when she gets home and be like, 4.5 years later, you're still wrecking my body.
Way to go. But
thank you.
Cute. But you're so
but you are cute. Oh, you're worth it. But
no.
You know, that's why I think it's so important to like unplug and give your brain time to just like think about anything else. Like I like to read, but also I love game shows. Like I don't know why I love to watch game shows. They're just like my favorite
game show
way
network
to just,
is.
It's not a show that I have to like think about. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that's intelligent or like I do love some documentaries and true crime and all that, but like game shows give me, I don't know. It just gives my brain time to just. I love Press Your Luck. It's one of my favorites. I've also reached the age in my life now where I understand why people got so excited about winning kitchen appliances on Price is Right.
Oh my gosh.
I used to, when I was a kid, think like,
that's so
why
silly.
Are you
why are they
about a kitchen? Now
down?
It's like, oh, did you see that kitchen? That's awesome.
I thought you were going to say you're now in the point in your life where you understand why people watch the birds. That's where I thought
I'll never be there. I'll never
Norman, the loons.
No, I can't. I can't watch the birds. I'm not that.
Well, what I will say about the birds is I think it depends on, like, again, when you talk about unplugging, you like to read, right? Not all people like to read. I can't sit there and read. I can write a book. I can't read a book. Just like I can do a podcast. I can't listen to one. But yeah, there's all the things. But that notion of if I'm outside, and I don't think it's necessarily going outside to watch the birds. It's more like, hey, I'm going outside. My phone's completely inside. I don't even know where it's at. But it's that complete disconnect and the fact that there's just peace and grounding.
Going
And you
to touch
can be
grass.
aware.
Touch grass.
Touch grass, right? Or it's the same thing they say, like if you need a sensory reset or nervous system reset, touch the grass or go take a shower. Both of those things reset your nervous system. And, will help.
I think that's why I feel so much more productive throughout my day if I take a shower first thing in the morning. Like, because it does like reset your nervous
Is there a
system.
time where you don't take a shower first thing in the morning? I have to
Well,
do
I mean,
that to
some
wake
people
up.
take it. Some people take it at night.
I
Like
take it at
some
night.
people take.
No,
yeah,
no.
That's me. Like I'd rather take one in the morning. Like that's my. I think that's the reason, though. I think
I'm
it's
groggy the first half of the day if I don't do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But some people do take.
Can
them
we
at night.
bring back good TV though, like Unsolved Mysteries?
Oh, I loved Unsolved Mysteries.
Shout out Unsolved Mysteries, and God bless the person who's been clipping those old episodes and serving them up on my TikTok, because that unlocked that amazing memory in my brain. Now, at the time, it scared the heck out of me. As a child, that voice it freaked me out. But now it's just like coming home. It's so weird.
Robert Stack is the voice of my childhood nightmares because he was so like the.
Were there ficuses involved?
No.
What was the soap opera? I think I've asked you this before, Cassandra. The soap opera that had the lady, something happened to her and she was like paralyzed, laid up in the bed for like months or years or whatever. Not Elena. Not a.
You're talking about Marlena on Days of Our Lives.
Marlena. Yeah. Did she lay up in a bed after some kind of event for a long time?
Oh, she did all kinds of stuff. She was possessed. She was.
That's what it was.
Multiple times.
Possessed.
She was possessed. Yeah, that was a great
Mm-hmm.
trope on Days of Our Lives.
Well,
that takes me way back.
I saw that on some adults' TV at some point, and the way
it tripped you out.
It tripped me out. I thought
So I have like crazy small town Louisiana. Okay, who would have thunk? Let's put it that way.
They only had 3 channels, and you had to turn the antenna just right.
This got nothing to do with that.
Okay.
Bo and Hope from Days of Our Lives came, and they were the marshals of the parade we had in my small town.
That's
in
awesome.
Clackamas, Louisiana.
Are they from there, maybe, or something?
No, had nothing to do with that. And we got to meet them. And so it was like so cool. Like, nobody ever came that was famous to our town, but to have them come and be the marshals of the parade and everything else, it was like such a cool experience because everybody watched Days of Our Lives. And this was like in the heyday of when they were really,
I gotta
really
go turn on my stories. I gotta
like
go
the
watch
early
my
90s.
I got a VHS tape.
I need to know though,
over it.
Was it a regional thing? Like, was it a Southern thing that the soaps were such a big deal, or was that like countrywide?
I think it was countrywide, but more Southern. Like
I
think it was more Southern. But I mean, we recorded it. But I mean,
we did too.
My mom, we watched it every single night. Do you remember Patch? Do you remember Patch?
Mm-hmm.
So my mom and my aunts went on Patch. He was good looking. And he had an eye patch. That's why his name was like Steve, but they called him Patch. Anyway, my mom and her sisters went on a girls' trip to Charleston whenever I was like, I don't know, middle school. And they were filming some episodes of Days of Our Lives in Charleston while they were there. And so like they took a million pictures and had them printed, obviously, of all these characters. And I just remember when I was younger, like, oh, my mom's so cool. She saw the Days of Our Lives characters. Like, oh, yeah.
But did y'all watch One Tree Hill?
Yes.
Okay, that's my kind of stories. Right
that was
there.
a soap opera right there. That was like the teenage angsty soap opera. Yep. I love me some One Tree Hill.
Yep, that could come on the TV today, and I'll stop and watch it. It doesn't.
I almost went to Christmas in Dahlonega just to meet Chad Michael Murray here a couple weeks ago. If I hadn't had the time, I would have gone because he was going to be at Christmas in July. They call it or something like that.
Yeah, I have an answer from the Googles.
Okay,
about.
The Google says that nationwide it was popular. Days of Our Lives and The Young and the Restless were across the entire country. but viewership in the South was the strongest.
Makes sense.
Like NASCAR.
Yep.
We latched on and it was just our.
But you were either team Young and the Restless or Days of Our Lives. Like you
exactly.
didn't usually
You did
watch
not
both.
cross.
You watched the one or
Like,
the other.
okay, so question, and maybe Rachel's probably going to say neither. Backstreet Boys or NSYNC?
Oh, I can't answer. They're both fabulous.
I mean, I'd rather you say that than the wrong answer.
Backstreet Boys.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
I was Backstreet Boys. That was my first concert ever. Was Backstreet Boys concert. So I love me some Backstreet Boys. Always will. But I also love me some Justin Timberlake and NSYNC. I still love Justin Timberlake.
But see, that's different. I felt like NSYNC was just different. Like the fact that they went off on solo careers and did all the stuff, and JT kind of became his own thing and is still today. And NSYNC is where, right?
Yeah.
Versus like Backstreet Boys, I felt was like a real true bro group.
Well, Backstreet Boys was first. They have a documentary out.
Yeah, they were
somewhere.
first.
Yeah.
They were first, and then Lou.
Actually, New Kids on the Block.
I was gonna say you can take it back.
About between the two.
Mhm.
I'm talking about between the two.
Yeah,
Lou.
If you want to be real honest, I'm an original New Kids on the Block girl. I'm
Right.
an KOTB girl from the way back.
Exactly.
I had my Donnie t-shirt that I wore to picture day that time. I tricked my mom out so I could wear my I Heart Donnie Wahlberg t-shirt to picture day. I have evidence. It was in the 4th grade.
That's
I'm smiling it.
Ew, so proud. You got to be proud when you wear that.
Have y'all seen those clips though? Oh, well, Rachel doesn't have TikTok, but they'll pull up these pictures from when they were in like 3rd and 4th grade, and they look ridiculous because we all go through our awkward phase, and they're just cheesing, and they pull it up on the screen, and the caption says, "And I was convinced that Justin Timberlake was ready to marry me," or something like that. And they just look absolutely goofy, but we all were convinced we could have been married to a TV star or a.
My cousin was obsessed with Justin Timberlake and Prince William. Prince William was like her main obsession, and man, he looks rough now. Like he looked a lot better. Well, Harry definitely looks better than William does.
You had Leonardo DiCaprio because everybody went through their Titanic phase.
Yeah.
For me, it was Romeo and Juliet. I had him in the aquarium picture on my poster on my wall.
I had the Titanic poster on my wall. Also love Titanic. We got to bring back posters on the wall. Like that was like a staple.
Now it's like a retro thing to do,
right?
Yeah. It was your bands that you loved. It was your favorite, like stars, and then you would get those like Teen Beat magazines that had the fold out poster,
and you just pinned them to the wall. There was no frames. There was no fanciness. It was man. We got to bring that back. Yeah. It's just like when I watch all of the Legally Blonde or that sort of stuff, and you see like all the Cosmopolitan magazines, and I'm like, man, that used to be the best. You'd wait all month for that magazine and come in
and read it
cover to cover,
page.
Take the quizzes, make sure you understood your what your future held because of that stupid quiz. And man,
I remember going to sleepovers with friends, and like we would have the new Cosmo, and we'd be taking the quizzes together and just giggling and laughing about like and we didn't even know what half that stuff meant. Some of that stuff was a little bit too over our heads, and we're like,
and you couldn't Google it, but it's just like you made up your own.
I was going to say that meant that was a good thing that you didn't know what that meant. That meant you were getting to be a child. Unlike today, they all know what it all means by 5th grade.
I was laughing because I saw a thing on the not TikTok, on Instagram, because I'm an Instagrammer, that said, remember when the dark web was originally when you got to the back of the bus and somebody had like the burnt CDs? That was the dark web.
Yes.
The dark web that did not exist.
But
that was the dark web.
When you got to the back of the bus, you learned things.
Exactly.
That
and your parents would be like, "Where'd you hear that?" I'm like, "Oh, Steve was talking about it on the back of the bus the other day." I still may not understand what it, but I heard that word.
Steve's parents don't supervise him, and he's sharing all the things.
Steve is a feral child.
I was always with that crew on the back of the bus too, because the guy that lived across the street from me, he was one of those back of the bus guys. And so I would get off the bus with him. So he would always we would be together on the bus. So I heard all those things and I was like, I have no idea what they're talking about, but it's so exciting.
Oh,
I know, it sounded
sheltered
amazing,
little
Cassandra.
I was sheltered.
Like, oh my gosh, they're talking about crack, and I just thought that was in the sidewalk.
Oh my gosh.
when life was simpler.
My gosh. It's making me scared because Collier rides the bus now. She's 4.5, almost 5.
I don't think she's got any of those folks yet on the back of the bus.
No.
Well,
she's got those folks on her bus. You're on the wrong bus.
It's just elementary school kids on this bus.
No, it's not like you're putting her on a Greyhound. You're fine.
No.
But my dad drove a bus. So I was the first one on the bus.
Oh, that's
for a while.
Day.
Nice.
Dude, I used to get on the bus at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Well, my kids get on there at 6:35.
Yeah.
That's just regular pickup time.
That's amazing.
But
because we'll start so early now.
She loves it so much that like she's had a cough the last 2 days. And I'm like, and she's been really grumpy. And I think partly she's just exhausted because this is her first full week of school. And these are very long days for her compared to what she was doing. But also I'm like, are you sure you feel okay? Do you need to stay home today? No, I'll be bored. I need to see my friends. I have to ride the bus. And I'm like, okay, if you insist that you feel fine and you're not running a fever, but dang.
Nice. Well, the good news is we have actually created a full circle moment on this podcast. Probably the first time we've done it. We started talking about buses and we are ending talking about buses.
Look at us.
So with that, Jeremy, take us home.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into this week's episode. We're glad you were here. We hope you'll be with us next week. We drop episodes every Tuesday. Come holler at us on socials at Coffee Meets Cloud or drop by the website at coffeemeetscloud.com. We will see you next time. And until then, keep your coffee strong.
Bye, guys.
Bye.